Hey y'all, I'm Zane. This is Studsten City, and this is City and Studio Update number 1 for the 2021 season. Let's get started. So we'll start this off by taking a quick tour of the studio and then the city. This studio is just an average sized bedroom, but for me, it's home for work and play most of the time. The studio has 5 main areas to it, the first being the layout tables. It houses the layout of Studsten City, and also currently houses some part storage, and my studio area, and also my secondary laptop. It's also quite a mess, so it matches the decor of the rest of the studio. The second area is my storage closet. For the most part, you guys will see these as closed doors, like behind me right now. But for reference, these are home to some overflow part storage, my gear cage, and a bunch of my personal belongings. The third area is where I sleep. It's above my computer desk because it's a loft bed. That's really it. The fourth area is my computer desk. It's messy, so it continues the decor trend, and it also sits on a temporary white table. And by temporary, I mean it's been there for the past several months. No worries though, I'm currently working on a new computer desk. The fifth area has a similar story to the fourth, as this is where my building desk resides. I'll be building a new one, and in the meantime though, it houses a lot of part storage, and it also has a bunch of old sets that are waiting to be parted into my collection or be placed into cold storage, and I also have several boxes of some other stuff that are stored underneath here. However, these will eventually be gone. Now with that out of the way, we can get up to speed with the layout. There are currently 2 buildings that are under construction, the first being a firehouse and the second being a regional medical center. The medical center is just currently some bricks being placed down in the planning phase, but the fire station is well on its way to having a complete first floor. There's a lobby, chief's office, public meeting area, an equipment locker, air bottle refilling station, and this little room in the back of the garage will be a decontamination room. The station will house 5 units, a rescue pumper, a ladder truck, a Type 3 Wildland engine, a Type 5, 6, or 7 Wildland engine, and a rapid response unit. Currently, the rescue pumper, the ladder, and the Type 3 engine are completed. Speaking of the rescue pumper, it takes inspiration from the latest generation Pierce Quantum chassis. The equipment compartments are fully functional and stocked. My biggest complaint about the truck, however, is it's simply too tall, so I'll be rebuilding it eventually at some point. The ladder truck takes inspiration from a Pierce Velocity. The equipment compartments are static, but the ladder is fully functional, albeit being a bit flimsy. The truck itself has similar issues to the previous, being too tall, and for me this one's also too long. However, its fate is similar, as I'm going to keep it around for a little while. The Type 3 Wildland engine takes inspiration from an International Workstar chassis. The equipment compartments are functional on this, although I currently don't have any equipment inside of them. I overall love the truck and plan to keep it around for a pretty long time. Outside the station is this quick demo truck. I built it to see what different sized LEGO City tires would look like on the scale of truck I like to build in. I personally prefer the larger tires, but am limited by quantity. I only have 32 of them. Compare that to the literal masses of the normal city tire size that I have, and I think my decision has been made for me. However, go ahead and let me know below which tire size you guys prefer. I've also got this small police pickup I built. It's based off a Dodge Ram SSV or Special Service Package pickup. I'm not 100% happy with it. I kind of feel like that it's a little too stout, so it'll likely get some modifications here in the future. On the other side of the layout, I have a semi I built several months back. It's based off a 1980s Peterbilt with a sleeper section. It was a build requested by a viewer, and I decided to build it. However, I realized that the truck is actually in a slightly larger scale than the rest of my vehicles, so as much as I love it, it's probably not going to last very long. In the corner is my Highway Incident Response truck. It was also built several months back, and I do like the model, but I don't think it'll stick around for very much longer. Finally, I have my work in progress build, an asphalt reclaimer, which is inspired by a Wirechin WR250i. It's taking me some time to get the proportions right, and so y'all will see how that progresses in the next episode. And to anyone who's wondering, I will be giving each one of these models their own respective showcases as I get time to produce them. Now we can get on to the actual updates. On days 3, 4, and 5, I continued work on the asphalt reclaimer. I also started production on this series. Additionally, I made a side handle for my camera rig, which will hopefully make handheld shots more stable. On day 6, I did more production work on the episodes. I worked on the script, I created a new travel board to keep track of video production, and finally I started capturing some of the shots for the introduction. Day 7, and I sadly didn't have any time to work on anything. On day 8, I was able to finish shooting the shots for the introduction. Additionally, I started working on producing scripts for some other video ideas that I have. Day 9 was just like day 7, where I didn't have any time to work on anything. Day 10, and I decided to start a new build, a cab-over truck with a 3-way tipper bed, based off of a build by D-Macro titled Kamaz, which in turn is based off trucks made by the real company Kamaz. Day 11, and I decided to clean some parts along with changing out some parts I've been whitening in hydrogen peroxide. I may or may not have had them sitting there for a little too long, and so some of the colored parts got a little damaged. Additionally, I played with some non-acetone nail polish remover to see how well it removes decals. It works pretty well, but I made the mistake of soaking the parts in the acetone, which has definitely ruined them. Day 12, and I was doing some more building on the Kamaz truck. The yellow frame that you see in the time lapse is a prototype I was using to get all the joints right for the 3-way tip bed. It takes a lot of trial and error to make sure I get everything right, but by the end of the day, I was able to get everything figured out and start making the truck bed and attaching it to the frame that it'll attach onto. Day 13, and I was able to finish attaching the bed to the frame and adding details to the frame to make it look more interesting. Additionally, I spent the rest of the time I had that day starting to work on a Knuckleboom crane that would sit in between the cab and the truck bed. This is made possible by a modular system that I'm using, which makes it easy to swap modules and parts in and out of vehicles. Day 14, and again I was sadly unable to work on anything. Day 15, and I did some work around the studio, and I also finished up the Kamaz truck build. Well, I looked at some different Knuckleboom crane designs that other builders have done and used those as inspiration to finish mine off. I'm not the happiest with the solution, it feels pretty simplistic, but I'm happy enough with it for now that I'll stick with it for now. I did run out of room on the card I was recording to, but all I did was change out the tires on the front end for skinnier ones and add a spare tire onto the back of the cab. Day 16, and I spent most of the day moving this episode into the post-production stage. Well, we made it. 14 days, the first episode of the year, on the city and the studio. I hope you all enjoyed it. I wasn't able to get too much done, mostly just build a truck and did some behind the scenes work, but I'm hoping in the next episode I'll be able to finish the reclaimer build, or do some more work on the fire station, and produce a showcase for the rescue pumper, if not some more other odds and ends. I'm also hoping to work on some instructions. Yes, instructions for my models. Well, people keep on asking for them and I'm finally giving into the pressure. I don't have an official launch date for the store, but they'll be available for purchase over on Rubricable. You can think of it as my version of a merch store. Anyways, until next time, stay classy, stay safe, and as always, bye for now.